7 veterinary predictions for 2023 and how you can prepare for them. Number 1, veterinary care, it's going to cost more. Prices for many things have continued to rise, and veterinary care, it's no exception. Veterinary supplies, they're increasing in cost. The equipment has increased in cost. Labor costs, they've gone up dramatically. And how can you best be prepared? We'll learn about many of those natural remedies that we specifically discuss on the channel. You know, such as alternatives to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Something natural, such as 95% curcumin. If your dog's sick, your cat is sick, I've likely done a video on it, and we've discussed an array of the different natural remedies. Now's the time to use them. Number 2, even just getting in to see a vet. There's some big changes now going on in veterinary medicine. Veterinarians retiring, not the same number of new veterinarians to replace them. Veterinary burnout, issues around staff shortage, issues around demand. We've got so many people have had new pets, yet there aren't the number of veterinarians to serve all those new pets. Of all the many things on this channel, you still or at times going to need veterinary care. So it is really important that you've got a good, solid working relationship, that you both are mutual respectful of each other, and you continue to cultivate that. Then more than anything, you being grateful having that veterinarian and telling about it, because honestly, that goes a long, long way. Number 3, more specialty veterinary pet food. Pet food, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Pet food companies, they know there's some pretty darn big markups in the veterinary space. They want to make more of that. So for the pet food companies, if they can sell more specialty veterinary pet food where there's much bigger margins, they're going to be much more profitable. But for many of the conditions that our dogs and cats can have, there are typically some much less expensive options, such as the serious allergic dog, starting with the unique proteins such as fish, along with the simple carbohydrates such as sweet potato. Our cats with diabetes or urinary tract disease, getting them on a good quality canned cat food is so much more effective than any veterinary dry kibble. Number 4, specialty all-in-one flea, tick, heartworm medication such as this, Bravecto. It's pretty darn convenient, right? You give 1 tablet once every 12 weeks. Gonna kill fleas, gonna kill ticks. Like, what could go wrong? But as you know, any medication that you're gonna be giving long-term, it's gonna stay higher within your dog or cat's blood system. Their organs have to metabolize that. You're much more likely gonna see a secondary negative side effect. Ticks are super difficult to kill. And any type of medication that is gonna effectively kill them every 3 months, that's pretty darn potent stuff. It's convenient, can be huge sellers for the pharmaceutical companies. There's definitely gonna be more of these. So what can you do? Well, obviously number 1 is prevention. You know, go ahead and get yourself an inexpensive, super safe flea comb like this and just daily comb your dog or cat. Try and stay atop on ticks. If you find a tick, comb it away and remove it. If you find a flea, remove it. Things like this, diatomaceous earth, they can be spread in the cracks and crevices of your house. A great way to naturally keep down the flea load. And if you can control the number of fleas, you can control the flea life cycle, you're much less likely to have a big outbreak, and then you don't need to be using those pretty potent insecticides in the first place. Number 5, more animal diseases becoming resistant to veterinary medication. You know, so many of the bacteria becoming resistant to these guys, antibiotics. We've overused antibiotics. You know, far too many animals with the flu have been prescribed amoxicillin. We've had dogs on heartworm medication for years and years, and some of these guys are now developing resistance to it. So first, be cautious about using antibiotics. And say your dog or cat has a wound. You don't necessarily need to start with antibiotics. And in some cases, a good topical natural option could even be more effective. This guy here, honey, it's been shown to be effective against many multi-drug resistant bacteria. It can be given orally for dogs and cats with urinary tract infections. It can be given topical for wound infections. It works really well for our pets that have coughs, and I can attest to myself, I've got a bit of a scratchy throat. This is working super well for me. Number 6, more emerging veterinary diseases. There are certain diseases that appear to be on the rise you should be aware of. Diseases spread by ticks, Lyme disease, Ehrlichia are the top 2. Infectious disease such as canine respiratory disease complex, formerly known as kennel cough. We've got things including a combination of climate change, some of the vectors of the diseases such as the ticks, they're able to move northward, expand their territory. Because of that, we're seeing more Lyme disease, we're seeing more Ehrlichia. So what can you do to help your pet? You have to be thinking prevention. Going back to ticks, could spread Lyme disease, spread Ehrlichia. The biggest thing is decreasing the number of ticks in the first place. You know, getting yourself the simple flea comb daily, going through your dog, right? You find that tick, you remove it. You don't necessarily need to be using these super potent topical insecticides if you can stay on top of it in the first place. My 7th and last prediction, most vets are going to say, don't listen to free natural veterinary advice that you hear on the internet. The internet's a big place. You know, not all that information is really valid, and or is it authored by someone who has any expertise or credibility. Veterinary regulatory bodies, they seem to be becoming increasingly conservative. In many cases, they're making it really difficult for veterinarians to even practice holistic veterinary care. Fortunately, you're the one who's in charge of your dog or cat's health care. Even though they may not be super keen on holistic veterinary care, I mean, that's your choice. I encourage you to follow those who have experience, those who have references, those who have actually treated dogs and cats. Obviously, I'm somewhat biased, but I'm kind of thinking that Veterinary Secrets is a good place to start. But question what I say as well, you know, because obviously I'm not always right. And if you're open to alternative remedies, start with something really simple, you know, such as your dog coughing, using the honey and lemon recipe. Your cat has an eye infection, or using some topical black or green tea. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets of my top 7 veterinary predictions of 2023. Most importantly, what you can do about them. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.